Lahore, Pakistan. A city where 14 million people breathe air so toxic it once hit pollution levels over 1,000 on the AQE scale. Where mountains of garbage line the streets next to food vendors. It's where ancient traditions clash with modern chaos in ways that will shock you. This video reveals 15 surprising facts about life in one of the world's most challenging urban environments. The most unsanitary city in the world. The streets of Lahore tell a sad story about trash and dirt. In places like Landa Bazaar, garbage isn't just on the ground, it's everywhere you look. People sell fresh fruits and tasty street food right next to huge mountains of trash. When you walk around, you immediately smell a mix of strong things. Stinky diesel fumes, sweet spices, and a bad smell of rotting garbage. The hot, wet air holds all of these smells. Every day you'll see children and old, torn clothes digging through these trash piles. They are looking for things they can sell for a few pennies, like plastic bottles or metal scraps. This isn't just happening in hidden spots, it's also on big main roads where thousands of people pass by every day. The city's garbage system has basically stopped working. Garbage trucks can't pick up all the trash, and some neighborhoods go for weeks without any pickup. During monsoon season, these waste piles mix with flooding rainwater, creating rivers of contamination that flow through residential areas. Diseases spread rapidly in these conditions, with cholera and typhoid remaining constant threats. Local residents have adapted to this reality in disturbing ways. Store owners sweep their trash right into the street. Families throw their garbage out of their apartment windows. A group of people who pick up trash for a living has become important to keep things from getting even worse. What about the air? 2. Air quality crisis beyond imagination. Lahore's air quality crisis reached terrifying new heights in 2025. The city regularly records pollution levels that health experts consider immediately dangerous to human life. In January alone, the air quality index hit 354, a level where simply breathing outdoors becomes hazardous. But that was not even the worst of it. In late 2024, the air pollution went above 1,000, which broke world records for dirty city air. This dirty air creates a thick, gray fog over the city that never goes away. It gets so bad that drivers can't see traffic lights. People wear masks not for disease, but just to filter the thick air. And by noon, buildings seem to disappear into the gray fog. The effects on people's health are shocking. In just 1 month, 1.9 million people in Lahore had to go to the doctor for sicknesses caused by pollution. Hospitals are full of people who have a hard time breathing. Children get sick with breathing problems before they even start school. Older people have to stay inside for weeks, like prisoners in their own homes. This bad air comes from many places. It comes from old cars that burn dirty fuel, from factories that let out smoke without cleaning it, and from farmers who burn their leftover crops in nearby fields. The government has tried to fix this with anti-smog guns that spray water into the air, hoping to wash the pollution out of the sky. They have also declared green lockdowns and closed down entire areas and polluting factories. But experts say it will take at least 10 years to solve this big problem. If you sympathize with the people here, comment number 1 below. It shows you are still here with me and continue watching the chaos that follows. 3. Traffic and noise like no other city. More than 7 million cars and other vehicles crowd the roads in Lahore. There are motorcycles, buses, and rickshaws all trying to fit into the same space. They move around each other in a dangerous and non-stop way. The city is incredibly noisy. Scientists have measured the sound and found it so loud it can hurt your ears. Car horns honk all the time, not just to warn others, but to tell them what the driver is doing. Drivers honk to say they are passing, turning, or even just to say I'm here. The loud noise never stops, day or night. Traffic rules don't seem to matter. Red lights are often ignored. The lines painted on the road to show lanes are covered in dust, and nobody follows them anyway. It's common to see a motorcycle carrying a whole family, sometimes 5 or 6 people. Children sit on the front handlebars while mothers hold babies, and none of them wear helmets. Donkey carts still travel on these same busy streets, carrying goods on wooden platforms. The donkeys pulling these carts look very skinny and tired. You can see their bones through their skin. They share the road with expensive cars and big buses, which looks very strange. It's like a mix of old and new ways of traveling all at once. These animals never get to rest or eat enough, and they work until they are too tired to go on. People who are walking have to be very careful. There are no safe places to cross the street, and no signals for them to use. You have to run across the road when you see a small gap in the traffic and hope that drivers see you. And in this chaos, there exists a special danger that lurks for a certain group of people as they move through the city. 4. Street harassment and everyday reality. In Lahore, public life for many women is a constant challenge. An alarming 82% of women face some form of harassment in public spaces, and the streets, markets, and public transport become difficult to navigate, with verbal abuse and unwanted physical contact being openly tolerated. This daily abuse can even force women to sacrifice career opportunities to avoid unsafe commutes, highlighting a systemic issue that impacts their freedom and growth. This toxic environment exists alongside surprising laws that seem absurd, like one that can send you to prison for 7 years for something that was once a beloved tradition. Don't miss our next journey into the hidden corners of the world. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know. 5. Kite flying can land you 7 years in prison. Kites used to fill Lahore's skies during the spring festival called Basant. Thousands of colorful paper diamonds would dance in the wind, while families celebrated on rooftops. That tradition is now dead, killed by a ban so strict that flying a kite has become a serious crime. The problem started with competition. People began coating kite strings with glass powder, creating invisible blades in the sky. These strings, known as door, not only cut down rival kites but also posed a severe threat to people, particularly among motorcyclists. As the number of injuries rose each year, the government experimented with regulations, safety campaigns, and designated kite flying zones. But to no avail. Finally, they banned everything. Making kites, selling kites, flying kites, even transporting kite-making materials. The penalties are shocking. Get caught flying a kite and face 3 to 5 years in prison plus fines up to $27,000. Manufacture kites, and the sentence jumps to 7 years, with fines reaching $67,000. The law is enforced without exception, with police conducting raids and making arrests for a simple piece of paper and string. 6. A city without alcohol. Lahore's nightlife is very different from what you might see in cities like New York or London. You won't find bars, clubs, or places to buy wine with dinner. Alcohol is mostly against the law for the 97% of people who are Muslim. Only a small number of non-Muslims and visitors can get special permission to buy alcohol, but these permits are very hard to get. Instead of going to clubs, young people in Lahore meet at cafes and food stands that stay open late. These places are where friends hang out and enjoy the evening. Lassi, a popular yogurt drink, takes the place of alcoholic drinks. There are 2 main types. A sweet one that's so thick you eat it with a spoon, and a salty one that helps with digestion. Servers pour the sweet lassi from high up into steel cups to make a foamy top, which people love. Because alcohol isn't a part of the culture, social life looks different. Business deals are often made over a cup of tea. Instead of toasting with drinks, celebrations are about sharing big meals. At weddings, hundreds of guests drink juice and soda. People at these gatherings tend to be more reserved because alcohol isn't there to loosen them up, which creates a different social feeling than parties in other places. Underground alcohol exists, but carries severe risks. Getting caught with illegal liquor means imprisonment, social disgrace, and religious condemnation. The black market prices are extreme, making alcohol a luxury even for those willing to break the law. Most people go their entire lives without ever tasting beer or wine. This restriction connects to broader religious influences that affect even how people dress. 7. Men in flowing dresses. When you walk down the streets of Lahore, you'll see that almost every man wears a long shirt over loose pants. This outfit is called the shalwar kameez. It's the main style for men here. It doesn't matter if a man is rich or poor, young or old, you won't see many people wearing Western clothes like jeans or t-shirts. And because everyone wears this same type of outfit, it makes the cities look very uniform. The outfits come in many different colors. Businessmen often wear clean white ones. Workers might wear darker colors to hide dirt. Young men sometimes wear bright colors like blue or green. The style itself always stays the same, but the quality of the cloth and how well it is made can change. Even when it's super hot outside, men stay covered from their necks all the way down to their ankles. These clothes are perfect for Lahore's weather. The loose fabric lets air move around, which keeps people cool in the extreme heat. The long sleeves and pants protect their skin from the sun and dust. The clothes are also very comfortable. Men can easily sit on the floor or squat down in ways that would be hard to do in tight Western clothes. The outfit is also good for praying, which men do 5 times a day. Instead of closed shoes, most men wear simple sandals or slippers on their feet, even for important events. They can easily slip them off when they go into homes, mosques, or certain stores. The loose clothes and open shoes together create a special look. That is a big part of what makes Lahore unique. 8. Women conquering motorcycles. Every morning, something amazing happens on the streets of Lahore. Women are riding motorcycles to get to work, school, and the market. For a long time, this was against tradition, but these women are breaking old rules. A program called Women on Wheels has taught more than 7,000 women how to ride. This has made a huge difference for women in the city. Before this program, women had to rely on male family members or expensive taxis to get around. This meant many couldn't go to school, get a job, or even leave the house on their own. At first, the women who rode motorcycles faced a lot of anger. Men would yell at them, saying they were shaming their families. Some religious leaders spoke against them, and some women even faced violence from their own relatives. But they didn't stop. Each woman on a motorcycle inspired more to join, and the program gave them a community to support them through the hard times. Now, seeing a woman on a motorcycle is becoming a normal sight in some parts of the city. Female students ride to college, working women go to their jobs, and mothers take their children to school. They wear helmets and scarves to be safe and respectful, while also gaining their freedom to travel wherever they need to go. This transformation happening in plain sight contrasts sharply with a hidden part of Lahore that most people only whisper about, a place with a dark history that still haunts certain streets. 9. The dark legacy of Heera Mandi. Behind the food stalls and music shops of Heera Mandi lies a history that nobody talks about openly. Once known as the Royal Quarter, this historic neighborhood was home to the most educated and talented women of the Mughal era. They were revered courtesans, poets, artists, and advisors who held significant influence in society. But things changed under British rule. Colonists stripped these women of their status, branded them as demeaning, and turned the Royal Quarter into a promiscuous district, and the name Heera Mandi, meaning diamond market, took on a new, cruel meaning and mocking the worth of women. Today, the area exists in a strange limbo. Although intimate services are illegal in Pakistan, its presence is a well-kept secret after dark. Tour guides often ignore uncomfortable truths, focusing only on the architectural heritage while ignoring the women who are still trapped in that regime. 10. Paradise lost in concrete. Lahore was once known as the City of Gardens because of its beautiful green spaces. The Mughal rulers built the famous Shalimar Gardens, which is a special place recognized by the United Nations. Later, the British added gardens like Lawrence Gardens. Every neighborhood had parks and green areas where families could get together. But that old Lahore is disappearing. The city is being covered in concrete, and the gardens are being suffocated. Almost all of the open spaces have been taken over by new buildings. Historic gardens are being sold to build things like shopping malls. The public parks that are left get smaller every year as roads get bigger. Large, old trees that gave people shade for a long time are being cut down overnight. The few parks that remain are now serving millions of people, making them very crowded. There is a huge difference between rich and poor neighborhoods. Wealthy areas have their own private gardens and lots of trees on their streets. But poor neighborhoods have become deserts of concrete. There are no trees on many streets. Children often have to play in areas filled with trash because there are no parks nearby. Because of this, summers in Lahore are now incredibly hot. Without trees, the concrete heats up during the day and stays hot all night. This makes the city much hotter than the areas around it. People need air conditioning to survive, but most can't afford it. They have to live through months of extreme heat without any cool, green places to go. Losing these parks means more than just losing a comfortable place. They were places where people met and became closer as a community. Without them, people feel more alone in their concrete homes. This has led to more mental health problems. Children are growing up without ever being able to climb a tree or play in the grass. 11. A city of children. Nearly half of Lahore's population hasn't reached their 15th birthday. The streets swarm with children everywhere you look. They work in shops, beg at traffic lights, collect garbage, and shine shoes. Schools can't accommodate them all. Millions grow up without basic education. The youth explosion creates massive pressure. Every year, hundreds of thousands reach working age but find no jobs. They join the informal economy, selling items on streets or doing day labor. Competition for any position becomes fierce. University graduates drive rickshaws because nothing else exists. Young people dominate public spaces. Parks fill with teenagers who have nowhere else to go. They gather on street corners, creating informal social clubs. Shopping malls become hangout spots for middle-class youth who walk around for hours without buying anything. Crime increases as desperate young men see no legitimate futures. Gangs recruit from this endless pool of unemployed youth. Drug use spreads through neighborhoods where hope has died. Parents watch their children drift into dangerous paths, but have no alternatives to offer them. The demographic boom shows no signs of slowing. The city adds almost 300,000 new residents annually. Infrastructure built for 2 million now serves 15 million. Every system operates beyond capacity. The young population could be an incredible resource, but instead becomes a crisis without solutions. 12. The Punjabi language capital. More Punjabi speakers live in Lahore than anywhere else on earth. Over 87% of residents speak it as their first language. The streets echo with Punjabi conversations, arguments, and songs. Yet officially, Punjabi has second-class status in its own homeland. Schools teach in Urdu and English, not Punjabi. Government documents use Urdu. Road signs appear in Urdu and English. The language spoken by millions at home becomes forbidden in formal settings. Children grow up speaking one language with family but must learn others for education and work. This creates a strange cultural split. Punjabi poetry and music thrive in private spaces. Wedding songs, folk tales, and jokes flow in Punjabi. But writing a business letter or university paper in Punjabi marks you as uneducated. The language carries incredible richness. Punjabi has words for emotions and concepts that don't exist in other languages. Its poetry tradition spans centuries. The humor and wordplay are impossible to translate. Yet young people increasingly abandon it, seeing Punjabi as backward. Despite these cultural tensions, one thing unites all Lahore residents regardless of language or class. 13. The food capital's obsession. Food defines Lahore more than anything else. People plan their days around meals. They travel across the city for specific dishes. They argue passionately about which stall makes the best version of each food. Eating isn't just sustenance here, it's the primary cultural activity. The variety seems impossible. You find nahari, a slow-cooked beef stew that cooks overnight, a wheat and meat porridge that takes hours of constant stirring, Sikh kebabs grilled over charcoal, fried fish from the river, sweet shops with hundreds of dessert varieties. New restaurants open constantly, from Italian cafes to Chinese buffets. But traditional food maintains supremacy. People wake before dawn for halwa puri breakfasts. They line up for hours at famous shops. A good meal matters more than almost anything else. The street food culture operates 24 hours. Different specialties appear at different times. Morning brings traditional breakfasts. Afternoon means chaat and snacks. Evening sees barbecue smoke filling the air. Late night offers completely different options. You can eat constantly and never repeat a dish. This unity through food reflects a deeper characteristic of the city that surprises visitors who expect only conservative traditions. 14. The city's liberal heart. Lahore defies every expectation about conservative Muslim cities. The residents possess what locals call zinda dil, meaning a living heart. This translates to spontaneous joy, unexpected kindness, and a love of life that breaks through religious strictness. Dance breaks out during rain showers. Complete strangers join wedding processions in the streets. A news reporter abandoned her broadcast to dance with celebrating crowds, becoming a viral symbol of the city's spirit. These moments happen constantly, proving that human joy trumps rigid rules. The warmth extends to visitors immediately. Shopkeepers offer tea to browsers. Families invite strangers to share meals. Lost tourists find multiple people competing to help them. The hospitality goes beyond politeness into genuine care for others' well-being. This openness exists alongside conservative dress codes and religious practices. Young people especially push boundaries. They find ways to date despite prohibitions. Underground music scenes thrive. Artists create provocative work in hidden studios. Social media becomes a space for expression impossible in public. The restrictions just make people more creative in finding freedom. This spiritual flexibility reaches its peak at one location that draws millions seeking something beyond the material struggles of daily life. 15. Data Darbar, where millions find hope. Every Thursday night, something extraordinary happens at Data Darbar Shrine. Hundreds of thousands of people from every economic class gather in the same space. CEOs stand beside beggars. Everyone comes seeking help from the same saint who died nearly 1,000 years ago. The shrine of Ali Hujwiri, known as Data Sahab, operates as the spiritual heart of Lahore. The annual festival draws over 1 million visitors in 3 days. But even regular days see massive crowds. People believe Data Sahib still grants wishes, heals sickness, and solves problems from beyond the grave. The community kitchen feeds 50,000 people daily for free. Volunteers work in shifts cooking massive pots of food. Anyone can eat, no questions asked. For many poor families, this meal is their only reliable food source. The tradition has continued for centuries without interruption. At night, Qawwali singers perform devotional music that sends crowds into ecstatic states. People dance, cry, and fall into trances. The boundary between physical and spiritual dissolves. Drummers pound rhythms that haven't changed in 500 years. The sound echoes through surrounding neighborhoods until dawn. The shrine provides what the government and society cannot. Hope, food, community, and meaning. People bring their sick children for blessing. They pray for jobs, marriages, and miracles. Many claim their wishes were granted. Whether true or not, the belief itself provides comfort in a harsh city. Data Darbar remains the one place where Lahore's suffering population finds peace. What surprised you most about these Lahore realities? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to discover more shocking truths about countries that seem ordinary on the surface, make sure to subscribe for more eye-opening documentaries that reveal what guidebooks never dare to mention.